So this leaky faucet is what has kind of prompted the little kitchen refresh that I'm going to start working on. We've had this since we built the house, which has been about 20 years now, and maybe more actually. But it's been fine, but we've had a problem the past year. It's just leaked. He's replaced things on it. We've done all kinds of things. So we just thought, let's just get a new one, because I'm kind of ready for a new one anyway. I'm ready to introduce some gold in here because I've been wanting to do that for a while. And I, kind of sneaking a few things in. So this is the one that we're going to replace it with. And it matches the style of the kitchen, already. Kind of has that, I don't know, French country, cottage, casual, whatever style to it. So we're going to replace that. And then I'm going to change this curtain rod to a gold, and I'm going to add a gold one on each side. And I have 2 more panels of these shears. So I'm going to put a panel over here, and then I'm going to see if I can do a panel over here on this side. And then I'm also going to start spray painting all of my hardware. I'm going to keep what I have, but I'm just going to spray paint it a gold. So that'll be another thing that I do. And then this beautiful print, I love it. It's called The Birthday. It was Trent's grandmother's, and I got it about a year ago. I loved it when she had it. And I was so happy that I had a spot for it. But I feel like it kind of fades into this tile wall a little bit. So I'm going to replace the matte, and I'm just going to try to bring out some of the blue in her little skirt and her little dress to kind of bring a little bit more color in here. So just some small things, but I think that will be enough to kind of add a few things to the kitchen a little bit different. And then I have some little gold touches, that I keep around different places. But that's where we're going to start, and I am so excited. Y'all, so I just got home from a KT Clutter job. We worked with a client today on, she had gotten some wallpaper, and we did that on the back of her shelves. They turned out really pretty, and we put up some of those little lights with the rechargeable batteries. So I'm going to put some of that on our KT Clutter page on Facebook if you want to check that out. But I decided when I got home I was going to go ahead and take the knobs off in the kitchen on my cabinets and start spray painting those gold. I still have to take the pulls off, but I think I'm going to let Trent help me with that because they're going to require a little bit more work to get those off. So I started painting the knobs. I'm going to show you that process is so easy. You literally just twist them off, and I'll show you the paint that I'm using. This will be step 1, and I'm hoping I can finish the rest of them this weekend. But when I took the knobs off, I'm looking at the cabinets thinking, you know what, they kind of need freshening up. It's always that way, y'all, always. So I think I'm going to clean those down, and I may just get some white cabinet paint and just kind of roll over the front of them, just to kind of, since I'm doing this, I might as well. So we'll see. It's going to be a process, but I'm happy to get this little refresh done. And I'm hoping that all of this can be done before we go back to school. That's the goal. My little buddy Hampton is out here with me. I've pulled all of these off, and the others are the pulls. I'm going to let Trent get those for me because they're going to probably take a little bit more work. But I'm going to go ahead and spray these gold and get this much done. So here are my curtain rods that I'm going to be putting up. I have 3 gold, and they're going to go up here. I'm going to replace that one with a gold, and then I'm going to put a gold one on each side. And I have 2 more of these shears. So I'm just going to try to put a shear on each side and kind of frame it out a little bit. So I'm about to finish taking these out, and then I will be putting them up and crossing my fingers that it goes well. Baby, love you, but my reason is to let you go. So when I was teaching, always in the summer when I was home, I would find things around the house, that I wanted to do. And then, of course, when I retired from teaching and just started doing, KT Clutter and working in people's homes, then it really has made me just look at mine differently. And instead of having just, a few months to look at the house all the time, when I'm here now, I'm always looking around at, what could I do differently, or how could I make this look a little bit better. So anyway, I usually end up having to get Trent's help as always, but I'll explain that a little bit later. end the video, but I'm glad he was home on this day because he did help me with a few things that I was struggling with. But I am really happy to get this much done, and I did get it done way before Caroline went back to school. So, you know, very soon we're going to be starting all of our back to school stuff, and then we'll be getting into fall and all that decorating and all the things that come with that. So I'm happy to have this finished and ready to get all that started. So my plan is these two shears that are in the dining room, they match the ones in there. I really need a little bit more coverage from the sun in here anyway. So I'm going to take these two down and move them into the kitchen. And then these beautiful curtains, aren't they so pretty? I got to iron them, but these are going to go up in here. And I think they'll be beautiful in here. They've got the little fringe on the side. But they're going to go up in here in place of these. So I'm going to go ahead and get these down, get the ones in the kitchen put up, and then I'll iron these, and then these will be ready to go up as well.
I don't wanna know who you're chilling with lately, why you got the nerve. I don't even care about the lies.
Okay, so we've got all the brackets up. So I had some frustrating moments. What else is new? But Trent came in here to kind of see what some of my problems were. And so you know how a lot of times when you order things, it comes with these little screws, you know. So this did. So I was just going to use the screws that it came with. Well, I've had this problem before, but he said it really wasn't something I was doing wrong. It was just these things are cheap, but they strip so easily when you're trying to put them in. And he came to do one, you might see that on the video, and it did the same thing to him, so I felt much better about myself. But I do have a bag, one of my KT bags that we have all kinds of screws in there, nails, different sizes, so I just went ahead and used some of those. So once we got that, it wasn't that bad. The rod that I already had up, I just put the new brackets on, done. So that's the best kind, you don't have to do a lot. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to put these shears up, and then I'm going to iron my curtains and put those up in the dining room. Well, there is done, and let me just tell y'all, if y'all have problems doing things and it never goes right the first time, well, you have come to the right channel, because nothing ever goes the way I plan. I mean, it's always something I have to readjust. It's supposed to be easy. That's never easy for me, but I think I have it. I'm going to show you what they look like and kind of tell you my thoughts. So the curtains are up in here, and aren't they so pretty? I just absolutely love them. So the material was really, it's pretty thick. I mean, it's not it's not flimsy at all. And then it has the little tassels all the way down both sides of it and at the bottom. And so I did want to go ahead and iron them before I put them up, because I don't like seeing a bunch of wrinkles. So I already had this curtain rod up. This curtain rod has been with me, oh my goodness, since, I mean, about 24, 25 years. It was at our other house, and I just moved it with me. Now, mind you, this side over here has been broken more than once, and it's hot glued, but you know, you really can't tell unless you're looking, and that happened again today. But that's just how things go. You know, nothing's ever quick and as easy as you want it to be. But I am so in love with these curtains, and surprise, surprise, they came from Shein. I know it's shocking. I have looked, I really like this. It's probably more of a French country style. That's probably what it is that I'm so drawn to in my home and my decorating. But I have looked for this type of curtain everywhere, couldn't find it, and lo and behold, Shein. I think they're about $15 a panel. That's it. So yeah, I mean, I think they're so pretty in this room. They really look more like a dining room to me than the shears, and I can close them and it'll block out more of the sun too. So another little project done as part kind of the kitchen refresh that's kind of trickled into here. What you think about it, Hampton? Do you like them? Well, you look so scared. What's the matter? Do you like the curtains? You just ready for Mama to quit moving around? I know it. So I asked Trent to take these little pulls off for me. Look how nice and neat. You know, if that were me, I'd just been throwing them down somewhere. But this is how he does. Just neat.
Anything, you and me together, we could be anything. You and me together, we could be anything.
So before I got ready to paint the cabinets, I knew I needed to give them a good cleaning. So I just got my Dawn power wash spray and a wet rag and just kind of went around, wiped them down really well. They weren't that bad. I haven't had a hard time really with white cabinets other than under the sink. I have had to paint that cabinet a few times, but they're all ready to paint now.
We could be anything, anything. You and me together, we could be anything, anything.
So today I'm going to start and finish doing a little coat of paint on these cabinets. I'm not taking them down. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not making this a long process. I just want to kind of go over the front of them, especially on one side where I think the sun's kind of faded them some. I'm just doing a touch up. And then this paint is actually for cabinets and trim. So I think while I have the paint out, while I have it out, I'm going to go ahead and there's some other areas in the house that I've noticed some little spots that I'm probably going to do that too. So I'm about to get started with the painting. I'm going to film some of it, not the whole day because it'll be way too long, but just to give you an idea. So here we go. We're going to get started. So let's get a little update. I have made it around to this part of my kitchen over by the sink. I'm going to finish up these two cabinets, and I've got two others at the top that I forgot. Y'all, you know, nothing's ever as easy as you think, but it's not going to be bad. I'm going to let this dry for maybe an hour, and then I'm just going to come back and do one more. And, you know, better done, not perfect, than not done at all. And that's just the way I'm thinking about this because it does need a refresh, but no, it's not going to be perfect, but it will look better than it did before. And once you get everything in here and you start doing, you forget about all the imperfections because, you know, I live here. I'm the one. So if I can handle it, then it doesn't really matter if it's perfect or not.
It's mine, following signs, love what I see, living the life, it's mine. Love it, I love it, I love it without a question. Love it, I love it, I love it, I'm the answer. I love it, I love it, I love it for the lessons. I've been waiting for this, not sleeping on this party. I'm in it for the night. You'll find me where my heart is. What if I cross the line?
All right, friends. So I have done the first coat on everything. You know, when you start doing stuff like this, you realize that you have more to do than you thought. But I'm going to be so happy that it's done. So I'm not mad about it. But, you know, if you don't know this about me already, I don't like to paint, but yet I'm always painting. That just seems to be the story of my life. But anyway, so I'm going to take a break. It took me about 2 hours, just for reference, to paint the front. I didn't do the inside. Did a little bit around the edging, but I'll probably do some of that later. But 2 hours to paint the fronts of all of these cabinets. So that's not terrible, but you know, I am doing white on white, so it doesn't take as long when you're doing the same color. So after it dries for maybe an hour or so, it's kind of humid, so I want to give it plenty of time to dry. I'm going to come back in and do another coat. I'm going to walk around and make sure there are no paint drips anywhere. Do another coat, and then later on tonight, or maybe even tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and put the hardware back on. I wanted to give you a little update on my hardware, because this is the last step in the kitchen refresh, except, well, I say that, I'm waiting on one thing for a painting in there, a matte. But anyway, so this color is different than the first one I showed you. This is the name of this one. The first one just had more of a flat finish, and when I put it up in the kitchen, it really didn't match the other gold that was in there. So I'm giving it another coat, and it's raining today, so I'm in our garage. I'm going to crack the door so it'll be ventilated, but I'm going to give this probably about 1 or 2 more coats, and then today, no, I'm not even going to say I hope. Today is the day this stuff is going back up, and we're going to get our kitchen back in order. So it is a rainy Saturday, but I get to be home today, so I don't mind the rain at all when I'm home. I am going to start this afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and start putting on the hardware back in place. Hopefully I can get it finished by tonight so I can check this off the list. Almost finished with this refresh, finally. I stopped for a minute because little Hanson, he had to go potty, and it's kind of raining. Yeah, I know it. So we gotta get the water off.
Do you still think of me? I get a feeling you're lost in a dream. Told me I'm all that you need, but you're too far to even hear me scream. Don't let go, I'm too scared to ever wanna.
So Trent and I actually have our 29th anniversary this week. That's what the roses were for. He's going to be out of town, so he surprised me with flowers, and he also came home with groceries to cook dinner. So that was a nice little treat in the midst of all this work that we have going on around here.
Guessing is useless. I don't wanna keep on second guessing, 'cause guessing is useless. Keep on second guessing, 'cause guessing is useless. I don't know why, I don't know, I don't know why, I don't know, I don't know why I can't stop loving you. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go?
So if you just started watching my channel, first of all, I want to say thank you. I also want to say I have not been doing this for very long at all. I think about 5 months now. And I'm going to share soon in one of my upcoming videos about why I'm doing this to start with, because I'm sure some people wonder, why in the world would you want to start a YouTube channel? But I'm going to share that with you soon, and I have a lot of things coming up. You know, the holidays are just around the corner, so I would love for you to subscribe, and please share my channel. Let's get it growing. I was just going to share with you kind of what it looks like now that we're finished. We have the hardware all back on. And, you know, again, I did not get new. I just spray painted what I already had. So it is a nice little update. It did not cost us a lot of money, but just gave me a little fresh up. And I also did a quick paint job on all of the cabinets. And then, of course, my new little curtains that I put on each side. And then this is our new faucet. This is kind of how it all started. And we found when we replaced the other one with this, that this countertop, which is epoxy, it had, you know, changed color somewhat since we originally did it. So I could tell the difference, but I found this neat little sink mat, faucet mat, they call it on Amazon. I just kind of cut it to fit the area, so to kind of also protect the sink, but I don't have to look at the discoloration either, so until we get ready to redo the counters again. But anyway, so I am just waiting on the mat for this picture. I'm going to do that in a blue. And then I think the refresh for the kitchen, it will be done and I will be all ready to start decorating for the holidays. So thanks so much for watching today. I appreciate your support of my channel so much. If you have not already subscribed, please do so and share. I have a lot of fun content coming up. We're finishing up with Caroline's little bedroom refresh. I've got one more thing I'm waiting on for that. And then, of course, you know, we're going to have some back to school stuff coming. Football season, I usually do some things with that. And then before you know it, y'all, it's going to be time to decorate for fall. And I cannot wait. So I'd really love to see my channel kind of kick up a little bit more before we get into all that fun decorating. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
What to say if it was sometime I will do the therapist.